And David Burns and Dr. Albert Ellis came up with some very common cognitive distortions. Now, these are not all of them, and they all seem rather similar, too. You have things like all or nothing thinking. Things are either all good or all bad, all right or all wrong. Overgeneralization, very similar. Okay, one bad thing happened to me today, so the whole day is just going to hell in a handbasket. I had a flat when I got outside, looked at the car and went, again. Of course again, I didn't change the tire yesterday. I didn't fix it, I just filled it up. Emotional reasoning, that's where, because I feel bad, it must going to be a bad day. I wake up, I'm tired, I'm not fully awake yet. When your body's tired, we have a tendency to kind of go, why do I feel this way? Oh, I don't want to go to work. And then we get into this mind frame of this is not, I feel bad not because I just haven't gotten a lot of sleep yet and I'm not fully awake, and if I eat something and take a shower, I'll be in much better shape. But it is going to carry with me the whole day. Disqualifying the positive is where you are in sort of that funky land thinking, and then something good does happen, and it's like, well, yeah, but that's just a fluke. You know, it's still going to be a bad day. I'm not going to put all my eggs in that basket, thanks. Magnification or minimizing, and that's where you can take something bad that happened to you and really catastrophize it. I love that word. It's a made-up word, but I love it. Catastrophize, making a mountain out of a molehill, as they would say back home. Should statements. These are fun. The shoulds and musts and oughts. If they're directed at you, those shoulds and musts might be trying to whip you or punish you into doing something. I shouldn't eat so much. I should exercise more. I should. And you start to feel guilt and shame. And those things are not really motivating feelings. Those are the kind of, I want to go lick my wounds in my bedroom kind of feelings. So if you also direct those should statements at other people or the world or governments or things like that, then it becomes anger, frustration, and resentment. Not necessarily bad feelings if they can lead to something productive. It's fine to be angry with your government if you can then go out and do something that might change the government, like maybe vote differently or try to get some referendum on the ballot, something like that. But if it's not going to produce any change, then it's just sitting there and festering inside of you like a big old blister. Labeling and mislabeling. Things like, I am so fat, I'm such a loser. Okay, again, guilt, shame, demotivation, realistic counter-belief. My self-worth is not connected to my body mass index or what the number says on this scale. I may not be able to get into my skinny jeans, but I'm beautiful, caring, compassionate, intelligent. All of these things that the people who love you can look at you and say, look at all these great things about you. And all you can do is focus on how much you're eating and what you weigh. Don't do that. Correcting cognitive distortions, this again is Burns and Albert Ellis. And they suggest that you start by monitoring your self-talk for distorted thinking. You might do that with a journal to see what am I thinking about during the day. And one of the keys that you can do is look at how you feel. If you have a really strong feeling, and we use oftentimes the pain index, the 1 to 10, how high is your pain? And if it's a high feeling, a 7, 8, a 9, or a 10, then that's an extreme negative feeling. And extreme negative feelings indicate that the thinking behind them might be, I said might be, irrational, unreasonable, better, unrealistic, okay, I can buy that, or unbeneficial. at least not producing any positive change. I keep looking for something and I've forgotten now what I'm looking for. So the way to take corrective action is to look at the distorted thinking and change it, make it a little more realistic, rational, reasonable, or beneficial. Distorted thought here, eating that piece of cake means I can't stick to a diet, I might as well give up, this is awful. Catastrophizing. Realistic, eating that piece of cake means I have to adjust my diet and exercise for the day to account for the new calories. This is no reason to give up. I need to make a simple adjustment. Now, I put this in black and italic, this word simple, because a lot of people like to confuse that word with easy. Simple means uncomplicated, and easy means without a lot of effort. It may take a lot of effort to stay away from food the rest of the day, or it may take a lot of effort to get you exercising, but it's a simple adjustment. It's not really complicated. Moving on to the spirit. I might give you enough time to go over some more things. The spirit emphasis here, we forget, especially when we're actively involved in our lives and we have our responsibilities to focus on, to connect with other people, the natural world and the universe. And that to me is what spirituality means. It's not limited to just our religious experience or our religious values. One of the things is to try and get a sense of purpose and value in what I do and what happens to me. That can be the harder trick, is a sense of purpose in what happens to me, especially if I'm evaluating that as a negative thing. But if we can at least see a value in living through the things that happen to us, see the teachable moment in it. Maybe not from the perspective of, well, geez, if I had just done something differently, it wouldn't have happened to me. But now that it's happened to me, what do I want to choose to do or be because of that? Has a lot to do with our locus of control. Do we consider that things happen to us, or do we have an impact on the outside world? Acceptance of the things that do happen. If we can't do anything of the above, trying to just accept the fact that it happened. I love this phrase. I think it's a Zen Buddhist phrase, which don't push the river. You know, if you've ever stood in water that's moving rapidly, it takes a lot of effort, especially to try and walk up that water as it's raging. Pushing the river is not accepting something that's happening. You're trying to push everything back. You know, I know I'm not going to lose my home. You're not going to take it from me. I know I'm 6 months behind and I can't make any of the payments and I don't have any money, but I'm not going to let you take my house. Sometimes you have to turn around and let the river flow around you, because now you're going to have that energy that you've spent doing this on some other alternative. Like, I have to go find a place to live. I have enough money to pay rent. I need to go look for a place to live and rent. Or maybe I need to go file for bankruptcy, or maybe I need to try and get an additional job, some other thing, instead of pushing against that. And mindfulness. This is one thing that I've been reading a lot about and trying